Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol NIHD. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Done this analysis before in the past. That's where these red and green line annotations are coming from. But after today's price movement, I'm just going to go ahead and delete these lines out. Sure, they still pertain. They're just not relevant right now. And from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to risk causing confusion because there's clutter with lines all over the place. So let's try to keep this as clean as possible. Now, in the event there is any sort of bounce, the initial level of resistance to keep an eye on is going to be that pink line right there. And that's coming from a very foundational and basic level or rule, I should say, in charts. And that rule states that when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And the 200 period is already a very famous area. And you can see that earlier on in the day, it did act as support, actually provided a little miniature bounce right there. However, later on in the day when the price actually broke down below it, you can see that is where things really, fell apart this afternoon. So point here being, though, that if there is any sort of, bounce to the upside, then the initial key hurdle to keep an eye on would be that pink line right there. Again, the 200 period moving average. If the price can get up above there, then keep an eye out for the 50 period moving average. Keyword being moving. So that's why I'm not going to assign a numerical value to that, because as time goes on, this line will move itself downwards and that value will change. However, one hurdle at a time. The price first needs to stabilize, and then after that, you can focus more so on breaking levels of resistance. So on the topic of stabilization, I do want to talk about some of these next overall areas of support. Current level, nothing fancy behind it other than the fact that that's where the bleeding stopped today, is right down there at $6.10. And I'm going to make actually a little support zone here. So the top of that support zone being $6.10, bottom of the support zone being down there at $6. So basically a 10 cents little support zone right here. Again, from $6.10 down to $6. If that level cannot hold, then it very well, the price could be looking at down around the $5.65 mark. But as it stands right now, that level is holding, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But from a technical perspective, these would be the areas of support and resistance to keep an eye on. So let's see how things play out. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.